Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, God of Heroics, and today we are going over the custom battle story that I have been making. Not all of these are all one big story, like these are just one offs, these three right here, and then this one is another one off. Same with this one and this one. But all the others, I have been making a continuous story that has been going on where I'm basically changing some of the events that have been going on with Gohan ever since the Tournament of Power, because I had this idea that the way the Dragon Ball Super movie went could have been a lot better with some different details. So I went ahead and changed some of those, but the entire story cannot be told with the actions and dialogue that's in here. So I'm going to play through all of them and explain what is going on with the story so that it can be one concise story and everybody can understand what is going on. So, if you like this type of videos, please like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified to all future uploads. And without further ado, let's get started. We're starting with the very first one of the series, searching for the ultimate team members. So this one begins with some training. It is fresh after the Tournament of Power. Piccolo and Gohan are training because Gohan is trying to keep up with his strength. Unlike in the series where Gohan says that he was training on his own, in my story, Gohan continues training with Piccolo to reach new heights. But during one of their training sessions, the Pride Troopers arrive. The point here is that the Pride Troopers, after experiencing the Tournament of Power with all the other universes, realize that there are other powerful beings in other universes worthy of being able to protect and serve the point of justice along with them. So they reach out to Universe 7, trying to get Gohan on board with leading a faction of the Pride Troopers in Universe 7. The point being that Gohan was the team leader and the strategist for their team, and they saw a lot of potential in that with the way he led the team. So they're here to test him. Dispo starts off. He decides to go first to fight Gohan just to make sure that he has what it takes, not only in just strength, but strategy and, everything it takes in being a leader in general. So things go well. Gohan defeats Dispo as expected, knocking him flat on his back, and that's when Toppo arrives. Fidel also shows up because she supports her man, and she also sensed that Gohan was fighting someone she had sensed before. She felt like he might have been in some kind of danger. Fidel also did not quit fighting in my storyline. I don't like that Fidel basically gave up and decided to be a housewife, but in my story, she still fights and trains. She's not the most powerful, but she still fights and trains, especially seeing people like Krillin pushing humanity to its new heights. So, Toppo shows up. He's the next one to want to test Gohan, and basically he's trying to see how he could overcome a foe that maybe, more physically powerful than him. And Gohan just decides to go all out. He releases a full power Super Kamehameha, knocking Toppo back. It's much more strength than Toppo can handle. But because of this, Toppo decides to flex to his God of Destruction form, being irritated with being pushed back as hard as he was. And Gohan decides to exceed his current base form potential and goes into his Super Saiyan 2 form to try to match Toppo. But it is too much, and Toppo starts pushing him back. And Toppo does a lot of yapping as he does about justice and blah, 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 blah. But Gohan decides that since Toppo basically gave up on the idea of justice for the sake of showing off the God of Destruction form and being selfish, Gohan's like, you may have given up on justice, but I haven't. So to remind him of what it is to basically show off true justice, he goes into his Great Saiyaman form and starts throwing hands with God of Destruction Toppo. Note that also in my version of this story, he's not this, I'm the stoic hero, Great Saiyaman. He kind of uses this form as like a Superman type thing, where he's like, I am the hero, I had to, show everybody what it means to be a hero of justice. But he also isn't doing that whole I'm the stoic hero type thing. He just kind of acts a little bit more like himself, but kind of like he takes the fight seriously. So like he is in his Super Saiyan, not necessarily like going all out Super Saiyan 2, but more just like Super Saiyan, wherein he actually goes in and starts like, saving people like he did when he was younger. And through all of this, he decides to fight at his best, showing him that it's not about being selfish or anything like that, that being a hero and using true justice, sometimes you do have to rely on your friends and connections. So him and Videl actually do team up a little bit here to fight Topo. And with that, Videl and Gohan have defeated God of Destruction Topo. Keep in mind, again, they do keep up their training, so they're not like super weak like you would imagine. Anyway, with Topo and Dispo defeated, Gohan is still a little confused, why they came here. But Dispo and Topo are like, yeah, these guys might be able to do it. He might be able to actually defend Universe 7, on our behalf and our name. So now Jiren is here as the final test, and now he wants to see what Gohan does in the face of adversity when all seems lost. When it doesn't look like it is possible to win, what will Gohan do? And will he still have that sense of determination, that sense of justice, and will he basically be willing to sacrifice everything for the sake of defeating any bad guys whatsoever, whether he has to do it alone or with friends? It doesn't matter. He just wants to see what kind of resolve Gohan has. After one more team up with Videl, Jiren basically gets pretty irritated and tired of it, and he shows off his full power, knowing that pretty much only Goku and Master Ultra Instinct was able to even compare to him, and he absolutely lets loose on Gohan, knocking him out and destroying his entire Saiyaman fit. So basically, Gohan, after this display of ass whoopinry, is completely out of his Saiyaman fit. I would venture to say that it might even be broken. Who knows? So Topo seems like he's going to end it all, and that's what everyone's kind of afraid of. Dispo and Topo are like, oh no, he's going too far. Sorry, I said Topo, but Jiren. Jiren is looks like he's about to take him out. And Piccolo and Fidel are both on the sidelines, basically like there's nothing we can do. But Fidel's still cheering Gohan on. He gets up, unleashes his full power in his ultimate form, and decides that he's just going to take on Jiren no matter what. And then, so Jiren's like, okay, this is it. This is Gohan's true power. But he tells him you need to be stronger if you want to protect everybody. And this is Gohan's last chance to display how powerful he can really be, so that he can push back Jiren, even if it seems like it's impossible. This is like a Mark versus Conquest type deal, except Gohan is more open to accepting help from friends. After an extremely hard fought battle, literally giving it his all, Gohan actually ends up seemingly defeating Jiren. That's just how it has to go in gameplay, but in reality, it's more or less of a tie, which I think is a little bit more realistic. They've been training for a while after the Tournament of Power, and Jiren kind of has to, but the thing is, I think it's a little more realistic to say that Gohan might be able to at least match Jiren to the point where he's kind of gassed. Obviously, if this was like going all out like the Tournament of Power, Jiren very likely would win, but Gohan is catching up. And then that's where they kind of just inform them of how everything is, leaving, not only giving Gohan the blessing to create a Pride Trooper Corps, basically, in Universe 7, but also giving him the right to recruit his own members and train them up however he sees fit. So him, Piccolo, and Fidel are going to basically train up the next Pride Troopers, and that leads into the next episode, Great Saiyaman 2's Inspiration, which is basically a whole training arc where Gohan has to train up, people that he trusts to be within this core that he's creating. And the first person that he wants to train is obviously Fidel. Piccolo is kind of overseeing the team in a more sensei role, while Gohan is actually the one recruiting members and training them. So Gohan is going to train up Fidel to get as strong as possible, because she is a strong human. She's a lot stronger alongside Gohan, but on her own, she is not really that great of a combatant. Like, she's good, but she's not like, on Krillin's level, which is saying a lot, because Krillin was rusty before the Tournament of Power. He had to get trained up again and everything. So she's not as powerful as Krillin was during the Tournament of Power, but she is pretty strong. So Gohan is going to train her up, and he's going to do his absolute best to make sure that she's ready for any dangers that may come up anytime in the future. But during their training, Goten and Trunks can sense that Gohan and Fidel's powers are spiking and exceeding their normal limits, as they are fighting and training without limitations, with the idea of Fidel just getting stronger through just adjusting her fight styles and being able to read her opponent's movements better. So Goten and Trunks end up showing up and deciding that they want to be part of this battle. So Goten, he jumps at the opportunity to fight Videl, and Trunks jumps at the opportunity to fight Gohan, which I think is a little more fitting because Goten does have a little bit of a connection with Videl, and Trunks also likes to fight strong opponents. So Gohan being the stronger one, Trunks decides to go fight him, and Videl being the one who needs more training, and Goten being the playful one he is, would more than likely go fight Videl. Gohan is absolutely kicking Trunks' teeth in, while Goten, on the other hand, is actually holding his own and doing pretty well against Videl. See, the thing is, while Videl is pretty strong, like I said, she's not necessarily on Tournament of Power or Krillin's level, but she's strong in her own right. I think that it makes more sense that Goten and Trunks would still be able to have like the edge on her at least a little bit, mostly because of their set biology, and also because Trunks and Goten still do fight and train. And in my story, these two actually continue going to the island to train with the Cell Juniors and to help defend the island. It's just another something for them to do, especially during the off seasons of their schooling. So it's just a little way for them to get a little more powerful, kind of like 17's training. So Videl getting much stronger basically knocks out Goten, and there's generally nothing she can really do about that. And nothing Goten could have done about that. He kind of just gets blitzed before he can even turn into a Super Saiyan. And then Trunks and Gohan go full on Super Saiyan and go at it. And after basically defeating Trunks, like so, the only person available to continue the fight is Videl. So Gohan going all out, wanting Videl to, try her absolute best. It does the kind of training that he did with his father when Goku threw that big ass Kamehameha. The cinematic doesn't do it any justice, but in my story, Videl actually is holding back Gohan's Kamehameha for a little bit before Goten jumps in and helps his brother win the fight. So then Goten and Trunks are basically, just like, man, that fight didn't go the way we wanted to. I want to use fusion. So I was going to have an episode called Fearless Kids, and it was going to be them using Gotenks in battle. Like they were going to fuse immediately after this, and we're going to train against Gohan and Videl with Gotenks. But I decided against that. So I decided to use Gotenks in a different way, so that whole episode got scrapped and turned to something else. We'll talk about that in the next episode. This is kind of lengthy. So tell me what you guys think about this video idea, basically, or how the story is going along. Any critiques or changes, and let me know if you guys have any stories that you're going through that you want me to try out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.